Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome to Frankenstein Friday. What the hell, right? I just finished Mary Shelley's Frankenstein for the very first time, less than 5 minutes ago. And the whole time I'm finishing it, I'm reminded of all of the Frankenstein movies, especially the Boris Karloff version that I watched earlier this week. And what a absolute pale comparison, and what a weak attempt it was to relay what Mary Shelley had written down in her modern day Prometheus. From my recollection, it's only 250 pages or so in the version that I have, and the movie, the Boris Karloff movie, and mind you, any of the other movies that I've seen several. The Bride with Sting. I think I saw Robert De Niro playing Frankenstein once, which is really weird to me in retrospect, as well as various other renditions of Frankenstein, even Stan Lee's version of Frankenstein's monster. All of them just missed the mark by leaps and bounds of what the story was truly about, and what Frankenstein's monster actually was. If you've not read it, I can send you to an audio book that, mind you, it's 9 hours long, but it did a really good job. I was listening to it while I was reading at the same time, and the narrator did a phenomenal job with all the voices, and especially the voice of the monster itself was just impressive, to say the least. I wonder, I was having a conversation with Bear, and he said something about that depending on the media will determine, more or less, I'm paraphrasing what he said, that you can't, books and movies can't always translate, and I don't believe that. I think people just are lazy, or the technology is not there, because I just listened to the audio book, and clearly one man was able to bring it to life, at least to the ears, and why couldn't it be done on the silver screen? Why do they always have to fall short? Always. I realize, like I said, the audiobook was 9 hours of reading, and it took me days to finish the novel itself. But maybe a TV show, because even like Penny Dreadful and some of the other TV shows that I've seen of Frankenstein, just everything just falls short, especially when it comes to, they always get Dr. Frankenstein right and all the other characters, but the monster himself always falls short of what he was. He was a genius. He wasn't this sad little giant monster with the intellect of a child, nor was he a raving. He was kind of a raving monster, obviously, but there was a moment where, had things gone differently, he could have been any number of things besides a monster. And the way he spoke with such eloquence has never been portrayed on any screen that I've ever seen. And I really wish I would have read this a long time ago, instead of waiting until, I'm 58 years old, folks, and I just got around to reading it for the first time. I hope, and I'm pretty sure many of my friends out there have read it long before I did. And to you guys are very fortunate in having been able to do so. I hope those of you who are listening will think twice next time you watch a Frankenstein's movie, because it's, oh my God, it's so inadequate in comparison to what I just experienced for the first time. And one of these days I'll read it again to make sure that I didn't just get hit, first time syndrome, thinking that, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever. No, it wasn't an easy read. There are vast swaths of the novel that could just be torn out, but I wouldn't recommend ever doing so. But to me, they were boring and unnecessary, but it was written when it was, and because of that, it couldn't go straight into the good stuff. Even the creation of the monster was like over like that, when it should have been drawn out. We should have gotten some of the cooler, visuals that could have been. But obviously Mary Shelley wasn't a mad scientist. Probably had a really rough time figuring out how it would be done. Even though she and her husband were well known for having visited and gone to many showings of demonstrations of what electricity could do to non-living flesh, and sort of reanimated. I forget what it was called. Someone out there in the comments section will remind me what it is tomorrow, which is today, because it's after midnight where I am, in case you guys haven't figured it out. I record these very, very late, at the end of the day, when I finally finish doing what I'm working on, and then I'll upload it, and you'll see it 8 o'clock in the morning, which is about 8 hours from now. But it would have been fun to see some of that in the book, instead of my mind going back to all of the movies with all the Tesla coils and all the cool stuff that didn't exist when she was writing this. It would have also been nice to have had a physical description of Frankenstein in this novel, but I digress. It was still a very interesting read, and very, very different, and so much better than we've ever gotten to see, unless somebody out there in TV land can point me in the direction of something that's a little closer to the mark, because Mary Shelley wins out in this one when it comes to the Boris Karloff versus Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, or Universal Studios, or what have you. She wins hands down, even though it took forever to get there, but it's definitely worth it. It's really sad. It's really a tragedy. The whole thing could have been avoided. It's funny too, thinking about it. The Bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein, which I was getting ready to watch tomorrow, are all in her book, except Dr. Frankenstein says, no, I'm not doing that. Which every other movie said, oh, screw you, Mary. We're gonna do what your doctor said no to do, and changes the entire outcome to a point. Many people have different movie versions of how they're gonna make the Bride of Frankenstein, but then it's still gonna go tragically wrong, when in fact the reason it goes so horribly wrong is because the doctor says, I'm not going to do it, doesn't do it, it never happens. And it's kind of weird if you think about it, if they would just, because I guess they wanted to have that, like the son of the Wolf Man, or the Bride of Frankenstein, without having the woman in there, you've got no movie. But it's kind of weird when I think about it. But that's what I've got for you guys this morning. I will have some more stuff for you next week when it comes to Halloween. We've got some games this weekend. Hopefully a Star Wars game Saturday. Not sure about that one yet, but we'll see. But fingers crossed, George Omen off-grid. Hopefully that's right, off-grid's going to be at CleriCon, so I think he's going to have better things to do than hang out with us schmoes on YouTube. So probably no Star Wars game, but I'll try and find something Halloween to do Saturday night. But you guys out there, have yourself a great weekend, and I will see you guys all in the funny papers.